Alright, Overlord, one single tier 8 artillery. Pretty much the same comps. So what I would probably do, a lot of it depends on like what your Wheezy does, but you can still, I like going to this middle to start. I think you can go to this middle area from either side, essentially for free, and it gives you an opportunity to see what's going on over here. Maybe you get a free shot, maybe you don't. You can take cover behind the hills here, so you're completely already safe, and you're also safe from direct fire. And then if you don't like what you see here, like if they have a bunch of dudes there, you can still bail out from from either side. So I like going into this middle area here initially, just because I feel like you can get some intel and some early damage, and it doesn't really cost you anything. Looks like you are going center, which meh. I don't really like this area. This side of the map seems much more alley-like, which means that it's usually better for tank destroyers and heavies. This side over here is much more flanking, which means that it's usually better for mediums and faster tanks, just because there's a lot of areas that you can poke through where you can get to flank. Guarding this wall, this donut from either side, there's this raised hill that goes around here, and there's this depression in the middle. Guarding this from either the north or the south side, or in the early game, I don't really think is profitable at all. Looks like you've got a bunch of your guys going over this way.
It's a trap!
I just don't really like the terrain that much over here.
It's a trap!
And then you have to be careful because, yeah, there'll end up being a lot of tank destroyers in the back, like that SU-101. They've got a lot of guys on the backside of this hill, but you don't really have to worry too much about that. That was a nice track. He fired at the same time as you. You can make sure that you get that kill shot. You may need to make sure that he goes down. Oh, a little bit too slow. And then you can actually clear this out right now because he doesn't have that much behind him probably. And then you probably want to just bail off of this side. Artie's up in this corner. Always be very cognizant of the Arties. Luckily your teammate killed him. This guy's pretty ISO'd in the bull with the T-32. The PTA's got good enough depression that you can shoot the T-32, the guy in the back. You should definitely light them though. You don't want to let him proxy you, otherwise you lose the initiative going over the top. You're still fixating on this guy a little bit. There's a T-32 behind him. The T-32 just bailed out. That's good. No. See, why are you backing up? You allowed him to shoot you. If you just kept going forward and circling around him, he wouldn't have shot you. It's not like any of the tanks in this match have good enough armor that you can't shoot them in the front. But one thing that you do want to sort of be careful of as you circle somebody, like you can auto aim. You can like let's pretend we're auto aiming on this super Pershing right here. So if you're circling this super Pershing, so if let's say we're going around counterclockwise here like this. Basically, as you pass through the corners, you want to hold your shot until you get onto a more of a flat lane. Like watch, as you pass through this super Pershing right here, like it starts to become more and more of a worse shot on this super Pershing because if you're shooting the hull, let's pretend like his turret was faced towards you. If you're shooting the hull, so even if you're loaded right here, you don't want to shoot. You can hold your shot until you get to about right here, and then you can shoot into the side. And so when you're circling somebody, that's all you really have to do. Just make sure that as you go around, ideally speaking, you're shooting into the flattest possible surface, unless it's a really fragile tank. Like there's no reason to stick to the side or the back unless for some, like it's an E100 and you're in a tank that doesn't doesn't have a very good pen. And so there's really no reason why you shouldn't bully this guy. He's not looking at you right now, though. You almost shot your own T-54. So whenever this is a situation that I call 1-2s, right? The T-54 is on the other side of him. The T-32 is looking at you. So all you have to do, like, and let's pretend that this was a slightly more critical situation. Let's say that this was an IS-7, right? Something with a bigger gun, right? The T-54 is on that side. You're on this side. The T-32 is looking at you. All you have to do is just wait. Let your T-54 just rail on him. Just keep railing on him. If the T-32 keeps aiming at you, then the T-54 gets a free kill. And if the T-32 turns around to shoot at the T-54, that's when you come out and you shoot. You don't want to take the opportunity to have damage done to you if in a game where you know that you have them beat. SU-101 is shootable right there. This guy right there. It seems like you're kind of missing some targets sometimes, especially between kills. You always want to check the minimap real quick and see where guys are and whether you can shoot them or not. Like you could have shot that SU-101 or 101 or whatever it was.
It's a trap!
That was fine. You're just kind of YOLO charging people now. You need to get over here to where your T-54 is. Like, you're ignoring the fact that I don't know where you're going right now, but your T-54 is engaged over there and you're like driving away.
It's a trap!
Your T-32 is engaged and you're driving away. So what you want to do is you actually want to be further forward. None of these tanks are really that fast. You need to be in a position where you can cover your T-32. And that position is not where you are at right now. For some reason your T-32 is pushing forward. And then see how now you're going forward? Now you're getting into position. He's been engaged, right? You know that that was going to be an engagement area right there. You know that you don't have any shots from back here. But you waited until he's engaged, right? So your teammate's already getting shot. So he's tying up an enemy right now, but you're not doing anything. You're literally doing nothing right now. So there's no reason why you couldn't have driven over here straight off the bat. But that works. It like went into the turret ring. And you still need to cover that guy. He's probably going to die still, but you need to be in a position to cover him. And then so where these guys are going to come from, they'll either come up through over here or this Tiger P will come up over the top over here. Either one you have to spot. If this 5120 comes all the way around over here, that's fine, so be it. But you've got more health than the T-32.
It's a trap!
Looks like the 5100 came up behind him. Focus on that? Yeah, Tiger P. Good job. Okay, and then so now what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to catch the 5120 in a position where you can shoot him once on his way in, and then basically be ready to go. So no, you want to be on this, like you want to sit on the edge of this house. If you think he's coming over on this side, you want to sit on the edge of this house. As he crests that hill, you get your one shot, then you hide behind this house, and then by the time he gets up to you, you're reloaded. What you don't want is for him to come around the corner and then you get one shot, because he's got a clip. So you need to stop him, because if he catches you, then you're done. Lol, don't do it! Yes, there you go. No, don't. Ah, what are you doing? Anyways, so if you did exactly what I said, if you sat on that corner of that house, and then as he pulled up through there, you shot him once, and then pulled back, you would have been reloaded in time then to take a shot from him, and then kill him. So anyways, you went over to this side early, and again, I don't really think this side's that great for mediums. They didn't have that many tanks over here, but you'll notice that when you went over here, you didn't get any shots, right? There's not very many good angles through here, even if you have pretty good depression, like in the PTA, you don't really get that much. And then you push through here once they were weak, and that was fine. That was the right thing to do, right? That 101 was down in the back. The PTA was one shot and backing off. You know that they had a couple guys back here, but they were peeking over through the middle. So they weren't even paying attention, and so you came around over here and cleaned up this area, which is fine. You need to pay attention, especially when you're in the PTA or this German medium line, which has rather thin armor. You need to pay attention when RD is up. The RD is a bigger threat to you than any other tank, because they pretty much, if they hit you, it's going to pin, and that's how PTAs and Leo 1s die. And then you pushed over into here. I felt like you could have shot that T-32. That T-32 was over here. You were concerned about that British tank that was closer, but that British tank that was closer wasn't going to be able to shoot you. You were going to be able to get free shots on that T-32 as he exited through that area. You then circled the British tank, which is fine, except for the fact that you let him shoot you once when you should have continued circling him. And then you need to play that 1-2s with that T-54 better. If the T-32 is facing you, let the T-54 shoot him. When he turns to shoot the T-54, then you shoot him. It's really critically important to be able to do that, to be able to sit there and wait and not get shot in the face, because you get greedy. And then after that, it was mostly fine. I'm not entirely sure why you abandoned the T-54 over here. Not that you necessarily could have saved him, but running away was not the right play. And then you weren't in position to help your T-32 at all either until it was really late in the game. You needed to be out in your position where you were a lot earlier, especially when you knew that engagement was going to come. Identify where those tanks are going to come from. You know where the Tiger P is going to be. You know that the 5120 is going to be in one of two spots. So be in a position where you can shoot those areas. It's very important. And then again, when you know that it'll take you 2 shots to kill the 5120 and it'll take the 5120 2 shots to kill you, you need to shoot him on the way in. You need to get him down to 1 shot before he can clip you. And so if we look at the stats, your team didn't do that bad. I mean, your team did as poorly as their team did for the most part, but yeah, your shooting was pretty decent. I would just work on a couple of those more local engagement skills and paying attention to which tanks you can shoot, firing lines and things like that. You fixated a little bit too much on the tank that was closest to you at any given time. So it's something to work on. Otherwise, not too bad. GG, nice try. If you are on the North American server, I will send you a code later through the official forums. Alrighty, the next one is a E5 on Malinovka. Malinovka encounter. I kind of like Malinovka. They have a tier 9 arty, but it's the smallest tier 9 arty. So I definitely 100% in an E5 will go windmill, especially from this spawn. The E spawn has because the windmill's a little bit over on this sort of southeast side. This E spawn has an advantage over the north spawn, I think. However slight, in order to get there. So I always push that way, because you can play off the hill really easily. And this is a encounter map where you don't really need to play this team goal, because this team goal is very, 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 very easy to defend.
Time to roll out.
In general, my theory is that when you play encounter and the team goal is in the middle, you don't need to play the team goal unless you want to. But if the team goal is ever on the outside, like if the team goal was over here, right, instead of in the middle of the map here, then you actually need to have somebody play it. And they added this ditch to the backside of this 0 line. There's the same ditch on that A line, which prevents you from being lit. And so you don't want to do what you're doing right now. People have this tendency to poke over here. You just don't worry about it. Just drive up the hill. It's more important that you take the hill than you take pot shots, because anybody who camps over here is going to be pretty worthless. You need to make sure that you can secure this area up here primarily. And you don't want to get lit right there anyways. Like, let's pretend they had a bigger artillery, for example. It looks like this replay has the aim bug, so disregard the reticle. And see, these guys are allowed to get position. No, keep pushing, keep pushing. You against a patent, bully. Bully him in the face. And that's another reason why I don't like stopping. No, keep going. It's a little late now. That's why I like getting there first. I don't stop, because you get better position and you can just start bullying. You've got an STI in front of you, which is good. You can help. You can use him. Very sad. Your STI should have stayed essentially a little bit more forward than where you're at, but.
It's a trap.
You need to push up there now, though, while the T-30 is reloading. Just go. You can get up there. It'll be fine. Their E-75 backed off. Oh, just go. Oh, this is a bully opportunity. No, forward! Forward, my man! They've got a lot of dudes up there, but look, they're running away from you. They're backing away from you. The only thing that's a threat there is that T-30 in the RD. So once you get to over here, you can bully the crap out of these guys. And you want to play the right side of this windmill. It's just much better. Unfortunately, your E100's in the way. Don't worry about that. This middle plateau is completely irrelevant. You bully here, and then you can crush those guys. You're playing a little passive. Like you allowed them to back down here slowly, which is not what you want to do. You want to prevent them from correcting their mistake. Keep pushing. Like there's no you keep backing up. Yeah, you can sway back and forth, but you should be lighting these guys, and you should be looking to get your shots. And then you can hatch this E75. Don't worry about anybody in the middle plateau. You can shoot. No. Shoot. You can shoot as low glaciers now. So you got hit by artillery. That's fine. Whatever. You've got about 25 seconds before he's loaded again. Okay, they're starting to push out this backside. So now you have to turn around and go. Now you have to turn around and deal with it. And so what you want to do here is you want to overplay this. You want to push in here. You don't want to let because otherwise you're going to get hit by artillery. So you can use your. Okay, so like that shot right there, you shot him basically right here on the side armor. If you're gonna have a chance to pen that shot, shoot him in the drive wheel right there. Ideally, what you do is you drive a little bit further forward, where you can shoot into his tank a little bit better. It completely ignore right. These guys already backed off. You need to kill these guys right here. Their team is in a bad position. Their E100 is in a bad position, and their T54 is in a bad position. You can potentially save this T30. Keep going forward.
Drive on. One of our gas tanks ruptured. We're low on fuel. Penetration.
Good job. Let's turn around. Let's go ahead and push these guys. Nice work, and then fall back down. You can load HE there. Okay, and then now what you want to do is actually start getting out of the position that you're in, and you can do that in one of two ways. You can either go south or you can go north. Given that there are JPEs down here, I would probably go north. You don't want to sit here. This is not a good position to be in. You don't want to sit here. This is not a good position to be in. This is like deja vu. This is the one of the last replays. The guy just sat here. You want to push out to one side or the other. At least you guys are moving over here, right? All of this land behind you, everything down here, completely inconsequential. The team goal is over here. The only thing that's over here is the spawn. The spawn, you don't need to protect the spawn. You don't need to do anything. So what you need to do is you need to start clearing off a side, because they're going to start being able to be in a position where they can flank you. So you need to start getting on your horse. And so you know the JPE 100's on the far side. The JPE 100 is not going to have shots on you for a very long time. So especially if you can get this E75 down, you should be able to bully these guys. This Roomba will take a little while to get into position. The RU-251 won't. Keep pushing forward here. The AT-15 is not a threat. So the biggest threat to you right now, other than getting hit by artillery, is if you give this Roomba enough time to come all the way over here so that he can crest this hill and get shots on you as you go down here. JPE out of the game. The RU-251 can get back in the game by either coming around this way or coming around this way. But the more that you wait, right, you should be able to bully an AT-15. Especially with an E-100 right there. And so this is what I don't like. I don't like giving the team time to completely surround me, right? If they're out of position, once they're out of position, that's when you should be looking to make your move. When the enemy team is out of position, you don't wait. I mean, I guess it's polite if you wait for them to get into position, but it's not really good strategically if you wait for them. If they're out of position, you have to take advantage of that, even if it's not the gentlemanly thing to do. So your E100 is going down this way, and you're going the other way, unfortunately. And so this is another thing that I don't like, especially when you're outnumbered like this. When you're outnumbered and surrounded, like imagine if you were in the woods, surrounded by wolves, and it was you and your buddy. Is that the time where you go, you know what we should do? We should split up and go in different directions. No, that's stupid. You're sitting there and you go, okay, man, we gotta stick together and figure something out. That's exactly what needs to happen here. You guys need to stick together and figure something out. And usually what that means is busting out in one direction or the other, preferably away from whatever their slower tanks are. Now is not the time to split up.
It's a trap! Got him!
Lol. No, don't sit out there, because you know that the JPE is going to catch up eventually. And it's hard to tell because of the aim bug, but it seems like you're taking a lot of little snappers. I would definitely go towards your E100 now. Right? So, and again, there's no real point to guarding up here. There's no real point to guarding over here. There's really only the only thing that you ever need to guard on an encounter map is potentially this. Every place else can be sacrificed. So if they want to pay in blood to get into an area, let them have it, because what are they going to do up here? They're not going to put any cap pressure on you up here. There's no arty that you have up here that they're going to kill. You know, give it up in order to get free damage. That's what you need to do. So I still think you guys need to both basically push down here, see if you can catch the arty. I'm sure the arty probably left, but just in case he didn't, you can get around over here. And then what that really allows you to do, if you can get around over here, what that allows you to do is find an area where you can ambush tank destroyers. Because that's really what you're looking to do here. What you don't want to do is have them basically creep up on you. They're slow, they don't have good camo, etc., etc., etc. So the limitation is really on their tanks, not on your tanks. So in this case, you're almost like the medium tanks in this case, because you're faster than them, you're more mobile than them, you're more versatile than them. I would not even bother taking that shot. So again, this is a situation where you know exactly where he is. So I would still go out over through where your E100 is. That's fine if you want to spot, but and it's like one of the things is that you have to understand your teammates. Look at where your E100 is. Even if you light these guys, he's not going to have a shot there. You're not going to really have that great of a shot there without overexposing yourself. So I always think, and this occurs a lot when I play light tanks, is that, alright, I can light these guys, but if I light them and I don't have anybody to actually shoot them, all I'm really doing is I'm lighting them to make sure that they know that I'm here. And you know, to get some intel, to try to lock them in place. But in this particular situation, you don't necessarily want them to know that you're still here. You, in a sense, you want them to think that you left, and then that they have to cross up and across an open field in order to get to wherever you're going. And then, like, when they're crossing out here, let's pretend they were crossing out here. That's when you can ambush them. But you don't want to ambush them back when when they're back there. And so they're putting some cap pressure on. Almost definitely it's the arty, and almost definitely he's in that pocket right there. It's actually not that difficult to beat, especially from this side, because you know where their tanks are, so you can actually come over on this side and be protected from getting shot from over there and shoot into that, and shoot and spot into that alley. And because it's in counter, you know you have a lot of time. And then you want to be in this ditch back here, because you don't want to get lit out here, because that's how you die. And then you actually want to come all the way out over here, down over here, and then up over here like this. You don't want to cut across early, because if they're moving across this way, or if you get lit by their bat chat, then they're going to be able to shoot you in the side from right over there. That's why you want to be down over on this side. Okay, so he's probably in the back there. So that's fine. See how your E100 is going around? Just be patient and wait. I would try to get down over into this area as you can. Yeah, you don't want to go this way, because this way is not going to get you any better shots, and it's going to give them better shots on you. Okay, at this point, you might as well go down into this ditch and start driving across here. Ooh, it is the Roomba.
Penetration.
It's a trap!
You don't want to go back to that same side. And again, see how the Roomba moved out? So if you were off to the side, on this side over here, you could get shots into that alley.
Enemy armor is damaged.
It's a trap!
Oh man, your E100 missed. I think their JPE's moving to get in position. Oh, aim that shot! I think you might have killed your E100. Lol, and you took another shot. Now move! No, go that way. Drive away from artillery. Drive away from JPE. Okay, artillery missed. So no, just stay low, lower. Like down here, like run away. And then so what your E100 should do is just get the hell out of there. Like there's no reason for him to stick there. So this JPE is probably crossing over here, so he'll probably be either over here or over here. It didn't seem like he was in that firefight at all. So at this point, you might as well, right, it's running low on time. At this point, you might as well push up over into this area here and peek over and see if you can catch him. There he goes.
Penetration.
It's a trap!
Man, your E100. Man, their JPE. Push like a boss. Unfortunately, I don't think you're gonna get there in time. Oh, he missed again. No, just go, go, no, go. You can still go. Oh, you can still go. So basically what's going to end up happening here is you're going to be in a situation where you're hulled down against a JPE and he's got RDG done.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
Okay, so just in the sort of microcosm, at that late game, you really needed to get over in this area to try to spot that JPE coming across, because that was fait accompli. That was definitely going to happen. And then what you needed to do once you were right there, if you spotted him a little bit earlier coming across there, you could have gotten your free shot of damage. And then as he's going there, if he's going to commit to that E100, you just push in on him, right? You push in on him, you get to his side, you get to his back. If Artie kills you, so be it. But that's the play that needs to be made, because if he's going to overplay that E100, you need to overplay him so that you can kill him. Otherwise, I think you can break it down in a number of ways. I didn't really think it was worthwhile for you to stop here at the very start of the game and take a shot at either that E100 or the AT-15. I always think that it's best, especially if you're in a rather quick heavy, a rather nimble heavy like the E5, to get up to that windmill, because they didn't really have a whole lot that could counter you, right? The E75 is relatively quick, but you're faster and you can potentially bully that guy. And so if you drove straight up there, you would have been in a much better position. A lot of their mediums took this low ground here. This low ground is not as important as the high ground here. Once you crush this high ground, it's really easy to crush the low ground. And so if you came around this windmill with a little bit more force, a couple of things would have happened. Maybe your STI wouldn't have died and he would have been able to be up there and support you. But you definitely would have been able to push those guys off, because you can see that if you watch that game, you did not even take the windmill, and their entire team was already retreating. They were just like, oh, screw this, right? So if you were up there earlier, they wouldn't have even tried to make it up there, and that would have saved lives. And you also could have gotten, like when that T-32 started retreating, just go out there and bully, especially when that T-30 is out of play. The T-30 ran to the lower ground. Just make sure that you bully out there, and then once that's clear, then you can work on crushing the middle. But it took you a little bit too long to win this upper side, so they actually pushed their guys through this side over here, and then you had to come back, but you did a reasonably good job. When you come back through here, you don't want to like just stop in this area. This area right here on this sort of this east side of the B0, and this area right here on the north side of the A9. These are both kill boxes. If you're sitting in here, everybody can shoot you. These are not good areas to be in. Well, presuming that you have tanks, the same tanks on either side. You don't ever want to be in these areas just because it's not good, especially when there's artillery. So you want to push through there and push into that E100 and the T-54 so that these guys can't shoot you without literally driving over that hill right there. Like that Patton got some free shots on you, etc., etc. And then after that, when you're outnumbered 2v6, your E100 still had a reasonable amount of health, go with your E100, man. Just bust out, especially when you know that there's a one-shot E75, there's a tier 8 tank destroyer camping behind the church. You know that there are JPEs on that south side. Just go with your guy and bully him. And then remember that this is an encounter mode, so there's no value to the spawns in this area, because normally in standard mode the spawns are also the same place where the cap points are, so the spawns / cap point actually has some strategic value, but in counter it has no strategic value other than that if you want, you can give it up in order to get free damage on the enemy. So don't worry about protecting this area. That's not what your mindset should be. The only thing that you should be worried about protecting in an encounter match is the cap area. Alright, and so if we look at the stats, fortunately your team did not do a whole lot, but that will happen. You did 8k damage, which is fantastic. 23 of 33, which from the range you're shooting is pretty good. You did bounce a lot, which is fantastic, but especially when you see those mediums up, like you see that 46 Patton, oh no, it was a 48 Patton, and you know he's paralyzed behind the windmill. You see a T-32 there. You see a stock E-75. You should be salivating. You should be salivating about the amount of bully you're about to have there. That was, I think, in my mind, the most critical, not mistake, but a bad call to not push up there a little bit more aggressively and bully lower tier and stock tanks. Oops. Okay. Otherwise, I thought it was a pretty good game. So if you are on the North American server, I will send you a message through the official forums with your code. So thank you for playing. And then every so often I have to indulge you up by showing one of his T-49 replays. T-49 Airfield Tier 10 game, pretty much the same comps. I don't like getting the spawn as a light tank. I like being able to go up through here and spotting this area right here. In a T-49, obviously, with the 152, you're not going to get shots into that area. But it gets you a good amount of intel, and if your arty is paying attention, your arty can bomb in this area before their heavies can get out here. And that usually helps because that means like that mouse and that E100 will be down health by the time they get over here, so that helps your north area. So especially if I spawn over on this side, I'll always go through the middle to spot. If I spawn on this side, I'll probably go up through here, which doesn't really help your team as much, unfortunately. It looks like you're going to the mid. And then if you're gonna spot this area, I always click it so that, in theory, you already will have something to shoot at. Yeah, that's all you really need to go. You don't really actually need to go much further than that. Oh my. Snapshot, best shot. You got a lot of your tanks on this south side, not that much on this north side, which is usually not so good. Your tank destroyer went back here. So they changed this map so that the tank destroyers in this area and tank destroyers in this area are no longer really effective until your team really starts dying. Lol, their 1390 is just YOLOing. Not sure where you're going. Like, I don't know that you needed to take that conservative of a route. And yeah, I would derp the hell out of this guy.
Target acquired.
It's a trap!
Well, don't drive straight at him.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
There was, you know, you get a 0 for subtlety there. So you probably took far too much damage there for what that was actually worth. You lost half your health for a guy that was gonna die anyways. So, see how you guys are pushing through over here? I don't know where you're going, like you're gonna go camp back here? So they're pseudo pushing through there, almost, sort of, maybe. They don't really have the numbers. Their FE-183's on this outside, so he's gonna shoot one of your duders. Apparently he's gonna shoot that IS-3. But nobody's shooting him. Like, you could get around, like, if you want to, you could come out here and shoot these guys. Like, sniping with the 152, I mean, come on, really? And then, so what you want to do is you actually want to be back, like as far back as you can get. I'm seeing a whole lot of milking the team here. Like you can still shoot like into where this E100 is by poking up over here. You'll probably get lit when you fire the gun because the 152 just it's way too big of a gun. Lol, mouses switch to heats.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
They're still picking apart your team a little bit here. I don't know why your JPE isn't getting better shots. Like, your JPE should be able to shoot that mouse. Oh, there he goes.
Critical hit.
It's a trap!
See, this is where you switch to heat. I think. Right. Heat's 152. Alright, maybe not. Gonna have to derp him. And then, yeah, I would get over in this area right here, because he's going to have to drive across over there. I think you're doing way too much sniping, Yup. I mean, seriously? Like, do these shots have any chance to hit? Like, you can still clear, your team can still clear this area. You can still clear this mouse by being over where these guys are, because like this STI can shoot that into where that mouse is at.
Critical hit.
Oh.
It's a trap!
So they're already pushing up into your business here. You should still be able to clear that area there.
It's a trap!
Critical hit.
Snapshot, best shot. Can still clear this area here, especially that Leo. Shoot that Leo in the face! In the face!
Permission to engage.
Or the Roomba. Either or. Either or. Well, the Roomba's threatening your guy. The Leo's not.
Enemy armor is hit. Where'd they go?
Lol, go back chat, move to 558. Yeah, definitely try to get that Roomba down. That 704 is going to push up behind your STI. You're not going to have a shot on that guy until he crests the other side. That was a little bit of a lucky shot. You oversteered there, your aim there, but yeah, what are you going to do? You need a little bit of luck. So this 704 is eventually going to push your STI, so you can actually come around through on this side. These guys have been really reluctant to push over here. If you wanted, you could check where that STA1 is, but since he hasn't showed up yet, that means that he's not really going to push you. You don't necessarily want to play yet. You want to come around this outside, and you can play over on this side over here, just to peek.
Critical hit.
Lol. Of course, that one doesn't count. The STI should be able to manhandle that. What you need to be looking for is where are his friends. Don't worry about the Type 58. Worry about the 704. Worry about that STA that's behind him. Those are the guys that you need to kill. The STI can handle a Type 58 is what I'm getting at. The STI cannot handle that 704. The 704 that you could very, very easily splash and kill. Just hanging the teammates out to dry. Alright, now you need to go help your duder. You can also go clear artillery if your duder says he's okay. Since he's in your platoon, you can talk to him. And if he says he's okay, then you go kill artillery. If he says, I need help, then you need to go help him.
Critical hit.
Lol.
It's a trap!
Your artillery can kill that guy. You just need to make sure that you don't get hit by artillery. And your JPE should actually be facing the other way, because he needs to make sure that he doesn't get flanked by the 30. It looks like he is, though, so that's good.
Critical hit.
It's a trap!
Alright, so like 4 more shots on the mouse and you got him. Oh no, the 30's on the other side. 30, over there. You can one-shot him.
Ready to fire.
It's a trap!
You can completely ignore the mouse. The mouse is completely irrelevant. The 30, he's chasing your bat chat that's been saving your team's ass this entire game. Like, why can't you go help him? Look at him. He's running. He's saying help. He's typing help in chat. And you're shooting at a mouse that is in a bad position and can't do anything. Just go help your dude. Just go help your dude. That 30's gonna be like right there. Look, he's knocking over trees right behind you.
Permission to engage.
It's a trap!
Target.
I wonder where their MX-30 is. Dude, look at your bat chat already. He's just like, fuck, man. What more can I possibly do here? Lol. And then that guy just got shot in the face. And then it's just cleaning up the arty. Speed hacks.
It's a trap!
Critical hit. One of our tracks is damaged.
Well, at least that tells you where the T-92 is.
Target released. Target
You could ram him to death if you wanted. Save the shell. T-92 is in that southeast corner. I don't know that I would like breach this corner like this, and that gives him a chance to shoot you.
It's a trap!
Permission to engage. Target released. Got him.
Lol, that was a very nice shot. Alrighty, so what do I think I thought, so you spawned over on this side and you came over through the middle, which I thought is totally fine. I think that's a good move to try to spot into this area, which is what you tried to do. Their PTA pushed up here and you derped him, which is great. And then, I'm not exactly sure what you did for like the next 4 minutes. You basically drove back through the cap and then went over here and you're like hanging out with your JPE 100 friend for a while. you were just trying to derp guys from like 500 meters, which really not the best use of that gun. But even that was fine. Like I thought trying to kill that 1390 by driving straight at him, even though he was basically in the teeth of the defense and gonna die anyways, was a little bit foolish. And at least try to dodge on your way in. Make him aim a little bit. You're just like, oh, you can auto aim me. I don't care. So he got 2 free shots of damage, which really amounts to half of your health, for basically nothing. And so that's I thought was a very bad exchange, or something that wasn't in your favor at all. And then there was just a lot of sniping, which I don't really like seeing with the 152. But even that was acceptable because your team wasn't really pushing; their team was pushing into you. So that's fine. I don't really have too big of a problem with that. Like when they pushed through here, your JPE was getting good shots, and you were getting good shots, despite the fact that it's really difficult to pen from that distance against those tanks that were coming through there. You had some shots through the middle after that from 400 500 meters, and that was actually even fine still, because like that T-54 and that Leo were pushing in over on top of your STI. But you left too many guys. You let too many of your guys die. Like you could have saved that STI, or you could have tried to save that STI by covering the 704. The 704 was going to kill that STI. The Type 58, no chance in hell. The Type 58 could be behind the STI. The STI could be AFK. He could be crashed out, and it would take the Type 58 like about 12 minutes in order to kill the STI. But that 704, you could have derped that 704 and prevented your STI from dying. And then even after that, like when you were sitting here shooting this mouse, your bat chat started here. The AMX-30 came down through here. The bat chat left over here. The AMX-30 followed him over here. You're shooting at this mouse. The bat chat comes around over here. You're shooting at this mouse. The bat chat comes up through the cap. The AMX-30 is still following him. Like this was like it was about a 60-second sequence where there's a medium tank chasing after an artillery within 100 meters of where your tank was, and you're shooting with your 152 millimeter gun at a mouse. Yeah, that's a bad decision. That mouse was not gonna kill your JPE. That 30 definitely was gonna kill your artillery. And even if you want to look at it from a stat padding point of view, you could have easily derped that AMX 30 for 700 damage, or you can shoot the mouse for, you know, anywhere. Well, you hit him once for 3, and you hit him for as high as 200, I think. I think that's an easy choice. Kill that AMX 30, especially if you know he's chasing your artillery, because he's gonna have a predictable trajectory. Like you saw when I looked over in that area, you saw him knock down the tree as he was coming through the cap. All you gotta do is swoop around behind him as he pushes out towards your artillery, derp him in the back. GG. Thanks for participating. There was no way in hell you were gonna lose the JPE. Your JPE at that point had like 1500 health still or something. And the mouse was cowering. The mouse was like, oh crap, I'm screwed. Anyhow, entertaining game. I liked it. I'm not giving you a code. Just because you let the STI die and you let your artillery die. GG. You had good stats though. Let's look at the stats. Like 17 from 19. 1500 from a distance of more than 300 meters. That's just silly. Your JPE did work there. Like once their team pushed in on that side, through that north side, the JPE did work. Fortunately, the rest of your team didn't do a whole lot there. But you won, and you got a very high win rate, and you got a very high experience score, so kudos to you for that.